Meanwhile, speaking of wars, we're not at war with Venezuela, but we are blowing up their drug boats. We did over the weekend. And it's amazing how the Democrats are focusing on just the Epstein files a month ago. Now we're so concerned about who gets shipwrecked after the first rocket hits these drug boats. No one really argues that they're drug boats.
Right.
But now they're talking like they're fishermen who just will unfortunately hit rough waters, and we're not saving them.
Here are some of the Democrats. Listen.
It's really important that people see what it looks like when the full force of the United States military is turned on two guys who are clinging to a piece of wood and about to go under, just so that they have sort of a visceral feel for what it is that we're doing.
By the way, the individuals in that boat were not even aimed at the United States. So everything that they've done has been illegal. It's illegal under international law. It's illegal under the Geneva Convention. And it certainly is even illegal under domestic law. It was essentially murder with that double tap strike.
There's no fentanyl involved in what we're blowing up down in the Caribbean, even though the White House and others keep saying that. This is cocaine, which is a problem. But if you really wanted to get after this, you'd be putting pressure on China to stop the precursors, and you'd be putting pressure on Mexico where the fentanyl comes through.
What does he not get about they're doing that already? Because you know the FBI director was just in China after the president dealt directly with China on this, and the precursors are dealt with, and we're able to track that there is a decrease since then. At the same time, have he not been paying attention to the pressure he's put on Scheinbaum Company?
Yeah.
And when you shut down the border,
and
you
Mexico.
push everything into the water, and that's what he's doing.
So the White House spokeswoman, Anna Kelly, she said this to hit back at these Democrats that are painting them as innocent fishermen. She said, innocent fishermen is the new Maryland man hoax. Just like the media tried to paint MS-13 human smuggler Kilmar Abrego Garcia as Father of the Year. They are now running cover for foreign terrorists smuggling deadly narcotics intended to murder Americans. President Trump is using every element of American power to take on the cartels and stop deadly drugs from flooding into our country, just like he promised on the campaign trail.
Yeah.
So here's Tom Cotton.
Who saw the video.
He wants an apology to Pete Hegseth and Admiral
100%, because he got the unclassified briefing, saw it all, and he's saying that it's a complete hoax. Let's watch it.
Now, this controversy, let's remember, all started with a Washington Post story about 9 days ago that said after the first strike, there were two survivors that were helpless, and then they were ordered to kill these helpless survivors. That is simply not the case. They were not floating in the ocean on a wooden plank or in life jackets. They were on the capsized vessel. They were not incapacitated in any way. It was entirely appropriate to strike the boat again to make sure that cargo was destroyed. It is in no way violation of the law of war. And I think the Washington Post owes Secretary Hegseth and especially Admiral Mitch Bradley, a highly decorated career Navy SEAL, an apology for that slander.
Right, because the New York Times dispelled the Washington Post. Just one other thing. This is going to be the big push all week. We need to see, the American people need to see that second video.
No, they don't.
But I'm just saying that this is going to be their big push. Like, we need to see the Epstein files. I just hope people understand the head fakes. What the president could do to reframe it is get Maduro out. It's 5 months. He's still there. He fears for his life. He fears for his infrastructure. So far, his inner circle has not budged. And it's during the Washington Post right now. But there has to be, there's a sense that there's going to be more talks between the governments. He's got to go to Turkey or Qatar or somewhere, and that will change the dialogue here.
I just don't understand why the Democrats always find a reason to defend the bad guys. Always
it
the
is
bad
the worst
guys.
hill to die on, and they always do it.
The people that raped their children, the Maryland man that was beating on his wife
Abrego
and trafficking
Garcia,
people.
They
it's like,
started defending him, and then we found out he had allegations of beating his wife.
Yeah. All right, so here we go.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.